Another area which seems to be under scrutiny or proposed scrutiny is some important points in dealing with defined benefit and IRA type plans, especially the ability to sort of leave these things to beneficiaries over long periods of time.
Right. There were really two things that the president threw out there in his budget proposal. One of them was, believe it or not, the government has said that they wanted to, in effect, restrict people who have done exceedingly well in their IRA and pension investments. Basically saying that, you know, once you hit a certain point in accumulating wealth, and the amount that they've sort of targeted now is $3.4 million, which basically represents a $205,000 joint and survivor annuity for someone 62 years old. They've said once you've sort of hit that point, you've sort of accumulated enough based on someone's logic, and then they weren't going to allow you to contribute to aggregate IRA and pension plans once you've sort of hit that point, which is going to be a moving target. Whether that comes into play, I have no idea, but that's something that's out there. But another interesting one that's out there, which I think may have more legs to it, is the one that says once you pass away and your IRA is inherited by someone other than your spouse, the government wants to restrict the period of time that you have to draw down the money. One of the great planning techniques that we've used before is having the ability to stretch the distributions in an IRA or a pension over the beneficiary's life expectancy, which is something that's in the current law. Great planning opportunity, because let's say you're 40 years old, you inherit an IRA. In effect, based on life expectancy tables, you can draw down that money over like a 45-year period of time, which is huge, because in effect you're allowing these assets to continue to grow on a tax-deferred basis for a long, long period of time, which is a tremendous benefit. The government's looking at this, and basically their logic was, look, we put these pension IRA rules into effect so that individuals can grow money on a tax-deferred basis for an individual and his or her spouse's lifetime to help them enjoy their retirement better, not necessarily as an estate planning technique for children and grandchildren. So this was an easy one. They said, look, let's just put a stop to it and say, you know, after somebody dies, if it's inherited by a non-spouse, you got 5 years to take the money out, and that's it. So that would be something that, you know, you could see potentially making it into the law.
Sounds simple, like you have an IRA, should be easy to deal with,
right,
but extremely complicated, and highly recommend that anyone who's sitting there with one of these really get some expert help in thinking about that, because it can be very costly to have a foot fault in this area that can be easily avoided with the right type of planning.